Hello, everyone. It's Katie with Ria Health, and I'm here today with Dr. John Mendelson, the Chief Medical Officer at Ria Health. And Dr. Mendelson has been a physician and researcher in the field of addiction for over 30 years now. And today, Dr. Mendelson is going to be presenting on some interesting findings that he has found in recent medical journals on the topic of substance use disorder. So, Dr. Mendelson, please take it away.
Hi, everyone. So what I'm going to do here is start a feature of interesting little articles that can actually help people figure out whether their substance use needs to change or to be modified, and on factors that may provoke or cause substance use disorders or be associated biologically with developing an alcohol use disorder or another substance disorder. One really common question people have is about their families. Right? And we do know there's some genetic risks of alcohol abuse, and we'll be commenting more on those in the future. But one interesting question is, what do you do if you're a drinking family and you want to not have, and you wrestle with substance abuse in your family? You know there's a family risk. What can you do to minimize the risk of your children developing either an alcohol use disorder, smoking a lot of pot, or starting to smoke cigarettes? And a group of investigators looked at this, and I'm going to show you the paper in just a second to bring it up, and I'm going to put my share button on here, and there we are. And you should now be able to see a paper from the Journal of Adolescent Health. And I don't read the Journal of Adolescent Health because I'm an adolescent, at least mentally. I read it because there are a few other interesting things in it. This article reports on Concurrent, and it's got a very long, noisy title, Concurrent and Prospective Association Between Substance-Specific Parenting Practices and Child Cigarette, Alcohol, and Marijuana Use. And what these authors did is they had a cohort of over 300 families that they followed for a number of years. And they followed a lot of things about them. They followed whether or not the families had a drinking or drug problem themselves, whether the children were allowed to participate in food and alcohol related rituals, such as having a glass of wine with their parents, or pouring alcohol at the dinner table, or whether they were allowed to participate by lighting a cigarette for a parent, for example, or be present when the children were smoking. And what these authors found is that there was a significant increase in the risk of either cigarette smoking or alcohol use if the children, and these are like 12-year-olds, 10 and 12-year-olds, participated in either pouring the drinks or lighting the cigarettes for their parents. So that's really interesting. There was really not a strong correlation whether if the parents allowed the children to have a sip or two of alcohol or be in the room while smoking. So the correlation with future drug use was participating in a ritual around using the drug, right? So what does this tell us? It tells us that if your family is one where there's drinking going on, and this is certainly many families around the world, that you shouldn't have the kids pouring other people drinks. And it's interesting because I've been first thinking back on the families I know around the world, and very few of them seem to have their children allow them to touch the alcohol in any way, shape, or form until they're older. And I think this research sort of validates that sort of viewpoint of comfort that many families have when around drinking behaviors. So I think we'll stop there with that paper today, and then if you guys have questions or comments, and this should provoke some comments, what are the behaviors in your household that are around the rituals of drug use, particularly the rituals of pouring alcohol or serving alcohol in the presence of minors? Okay, Katie, I'm going to give it back to you at this point.
Thank you so much, Dr. Mendelson, for sharing that information with us today. I guess what would be your ultimate recommendation then with knowing these research findings?
I think you shouldn't have your kids pour your wine for you. I think you should pour your own wine, and you should keep them from touching the paraphernalia associated with drug use. It actually surprisingly gives them permission to use, and that's something you may want to avoid. Okay.
Wow. Thank you so much. That's so interesting. Thank you for your time. We'll see you again soon.
Excellent.
Bye.
Bye-bye.